Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 476. Talk. Wang. As soon as Yan Jin's voice faded, Xiaoyan felt as if a dull thunder had exploded in his head, and his body trembled violently. Purple key. What purple key? Xiaoyan grabbed Yan Jin's sleeve and roared. His eyes had turned red, and he had lost his calm. Yan Jin's heart trembled when he saw Xiaoyan's fury. Although he had expected Xiaoyan to be angry, he had never thought that the latter's fury would cause him to tremble in fear. Xiaoyan, we entered that mysterious passageway with Xiao Sao in fighting Dao Qi continent. We flew safely for a long time. When we were not far away from the Transformation Emperor sect, we hesitated and didn't dare to step into that passageway when we knew that we were going to scatter all the combat qi in our bodies. Lei Ying hastily spoke and told them everything that had happened. At that time, we were all very tired. Xiao Sao suggested to rest up and go into rest. A cloud of purple gas suddenly appeared, but we didn't notice it. Only Xiao Sao felt it. After that, before we could react, the purple key suddenly came and swallowed Xiao Sao. Then the purple key and Xiao Sao disappeared. Lei Ying tried his best to explain. He looked at Xiaoyan from time to time. His heart was filled with bitterness and endless confusion. How could he feel an unnatural sense of depression when facing Xiaoyan? Phew. After listening to Lei Ying's explanation, Xiaoyan took a deep breath and let go of Yan Jin's sleeve. He forced himself to calm down and stood there silently. At the door, Xiao Ling looked curiously at Xiaoyan's sudden fury. Although she was confused, she didn't think too much about it. She only thought that it was related to the matter in the lower realm, and the matter in fighting Dao Qi continent had nothing to do with her. Xiao Ling paused for a moment before quickly leaving. She still had to report to the Great Elder that Xiaoyan had arrived safely, even though the latter might have already known about it by now. Xiaoyan, are you all right? She saw that Xiaoyan did not speak for a long time. Given the dealings they had with Xiaoyan in fighting Dao Qi continent, it seemed like this guy was just a little kid compared to them. However, the depth of his mind was unfathomable. How is teacher? After a while, Xiaoyan's voice was hoarse, and he asked with a calm expression. The strength of an alchemist grandmaster is already extraordinary. There is no one on the continent who can surpass him in terms of alchemy. However, in recent years, the alchemist grandmaster has been focusing on teaching the younger generation about alchemy. The growth of his strength is extremely slow. He has merely reached the level of a 6-star Dao Sheng. Yan Jin hurriedly spoke when he saw that Xiaoyan did not mention Xiao Sao again. If he had known that Xiaoyan would ask Yao Lao, he would have already prepared what to say before he came. 6-star Dao Sheng Ha. Teacher is still the same. Pill refinement is indeed his life's favorite. Xiaoyan nodded when he heard this. The corner of his mouth curled into a smile. Yao Lao's kind smile appeared in front of his eyes. Where are the others? Walking to a stone bench and sitting down, Xiaoyan leisurely said. He thought of his father, Xiao Zan's 2 brothers, as well as the fairy doctor, Yun Yun, Ziyan, Ya Fei and the others. They are all very good. Right now, the Xiao clan is the #1 clan in the continent. Now that you have appeared, Xiao Sao and her 2 fighting monarch have extremely rich bloodline power. I reckon that even the foundation of the Gu clan is not as strong as the current Xiao clan. Lei Ying stepped forward and let out a long sigh as he smiled. The Xiao clan, who was once one of the 8 families, had once again returned to its peak position, becoming the center of attention of the continent. The Gu clan and the Xiao clan are already one family, so how can they be considered strong or weak? Xiaoyan smiled. The Gu clan had given birth to Guyuan and Zuna, 2 fighting monarch. The strength of the family had also reached an unprecedented level. It could be said that the current fighting Dao Qi continent, these 2 families were the colossi that ruled over the entire continent. However, currently, the Yan clan and the Lei clan had also given birth to a fighting monarch. How would the structure of the continent be like in the future? No one could say for sure. How is the ancient Void Dragon clan doing? That little girl Ziyan's talent is shocking. Her strength should have made great progress. Xiaoyan once again inquired when he saw the two of them. He was not too surprised that Yan Jin and Lei Ying had become fighting monarchs. After all, these two were experts who were second only to Guyuan back in fighting Dao Qi continent. They stood at the peak of the Dao Sheng class. It was only natural for them to advance to the fighting monarch after having sufficient fighting monarchs over the years. Ziyan. Yan Jin involuntarily laughed bitterly when he heard this. He shook his head and said, "That little girl was originally not interested in the matters within the clan. Ever since you left, you threw all the matters of the ancient Void Dragon clan to that old thing, Huo Zhu. You stayed in the Sky Mansion Alliance every day and fooled the little fairy doctor. Why would King Lin, these experts from the Sky Mansion Alliance, have the mood to train when they go out to play? This fellow really does not let one worry." Xiaoyan patted his head and could only smile helplessly. If Zhu Kun knew that this cute daughter that he had been looking forward to coming to the great world was like this, he would probably be depressed to death. Now that Xiao Lin has grown up, he has started to learn how to manage the Abundance Land Alliance. With Xiao Chen, the medicine master, and the support of many other experts, he will definitely become the strongest expert in the fighting Dao Qi continent in the future. Lei Ying sat down next to Yan Jin and said, "With the help of teacher and the others, Lin Er's future achievements will also be limitless." When he heard the news of Desolate Lin, Xiaoyan smiled knowingly, and a trace of fatherly love surged into his eyes. When he thought of Xiao Lin, Xiaoyan once again thought of Xiao Cao. He pursed his lips and slammed his fist onto the stone table. Yan Jin and Lei Ying were both startled. Xiao Cao's matter has nothing to do with you guys. There is no need to blame yourself. That mysterious spatial zone is indeed mysterious and unpredictable. However, since Xiao Cao sensed the purple key at the first moment, there is a high chance that there is a connection between Xiao Cao and the purple key. Although I don't know the reason, Xiaoyan could only use this guess to comfort himself and Yan Jin and Lei Ying. He could clearly feel the guilt between the two of them. Xiao Cao will be fine. After hearing Xiaoyan's words, both of them heaved a sigh of relief in their hearts and said in a deep voice. After that, Xiaoyan asked about many things in fighting Dao Qi continent. The two of them spoke one by one. With their identities, naturally, they knew all the secrets of the fighting Dao Qi continent, and they didn't hide anything from him. The changes that had occurred in the fighting Dao Qi continent over the past few decades had somewhat exceeded Xiaoyan's expectations. However, all his family members were safe and sound, which was also a very good news for Xiaoyan. By the way, Xiaoyan, what's going on with the Xiao clan in this big world? Why are we brought here as soon as we came out of the Transformation Emperor Gate? After saying that, Yan Jin suddenly looked at Xiaoyan and spoke in a deep voice. When he and Lei Ying were forcefully brought here by the people of the Xiao clan in the new sovereign domain, he was trembling with fear. The strength that they were proud of in fighting Dao Qi continent was actually useless here. You are also in the Xiao clan. Is there any connection between the Xiao clan here and the Xiao clan in fighting Dao Qi continent? Lei Ying took over Yan Jin's words and said impatiently. This. Xiaoyan let out a sigh. He didn't try to hide anything from the two of them. He told them about the relationship between the Xiao clan and the Xiao clan of fighting Dao Qi continent. Even though the two of them were used to seeing all kinds of things, they were still stunned after hearing Xiaoyan's explanation. What you said is true. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, the two of them looked at each other, then looked at Xiaoyan in disbelief. This kind of thing was truly unbelievable. Xiaoyan nodded with a solemn expression. When he first heard this news, his expression was as surprised as the two of them. This. Yan Jin and Lei Ying both sucked in a breath of cold air. For a moment, they felt dizzy and speechless. Looking at the shocked expressions, Xiaoyan didn't say anything. He just smiled bitterly, but his eyes were filled with complicated emotions. He was still worried that Xiao Cao would go there. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Dot.